Good evening, world. Welcome to Jules Word, episode 61. Learning to just be. That's the conversation. Learning to just be. And when we think about learning to just be, we're really honest. We're trying to master the art of presence in a world that's addicted to constant motion. That's what we're trying to master when you're learning to just be. You're trying to master the art of presence in a world that's addicted to motion, constant motion, because we all have to hustle and bustle every day. So tonight isn't just doing more. It's about taking time and understanding it's not about a hustle. Everything isn't about the grind. It's not about another list of goals. It's about something that how we've forgotten how to do. We've forgotten how to just relax and just exist. Just sit there at peace, meditate. That's one thing that we've forgotten how to do. Because everything is always a grind, another accomplishment we're trying to do. Another hustle speech, another list of goals we're trying to acquire or jot down, or our bucket list. A lot of times we get caught up in the initiatives of goals and missions that we're trying to accomplish in life instead of just understanding to appreciate where we are. Instead of just appreciating where we are and we're just sitting there and we're understanding like, hey, man, I can take time to look back at how far I've come and be thankful for where I am, but also be purposeful and faithful for the future. Because when you think about it, we supposed to honestly use the past just for reference to look back and thank God, but we look towards the future and be like, I trust God, because look what I done accomplished, what I done overcome. So when was the last time, honestly, we've sat in silence without reaching for our phone? When the last time we just enjoyed the moments, a great moment with our family, our kids, or whomever, without even much picking up our phone just to record it? When the last time have we done that? We've gotten so addicted to just going and doing something. Like I said, we can't even sit still. Why being is just difficult? Because we've been conditioned. It's a condition. We've been conditioned by society that busy equals important. Hustle equals value. Productivity equals identity. We think that our job titles, the cars that we have, our house, the things that we possess, we feel like those are our identity. But that's so far from the truth. It has to be in you, not on you. Like, you have to understand that you make the house look good. You make your car look good. You make your career look good. It's all about you. You are the key ingredient to all of your universe. Everything that you've done, job, school, all of that stuff. You have the power to speak what you want into your life, and you are using your energy and your thought process and the way you carry yourself every day to project how your life is going to go. And once you lock in and you lean into it, you get that career. Yes, it's great accomplishment, but do not make that you. That's not your identity. And we have to understand that the only way we can get our identity is we have to look within. We have to honestly go through the dark night of the soul and really take accountability for our life and what we've been through, good, bad, and ugly. And that's how we get to the point where we can learn just to be. Because it takes really practice to really just face yourself and be able to sit with yourself in peace no matter what's going on, no matter what's happened, no matter what's going to happen. You're just able to sit with yourself in peace. That's a very, very difficult road, man. Like, it's not an easy journey. It's a constant motion, a constant thing of reviewing yourself and analyzing the things in yourself that you can improve on a daily. That's what it's all about. Because think about when we finally slow down, we actually get a time to sit down and do nothing, but we feel guilty, right? We're like, dang, I could be doing something else, right? We feel guilty. Like, I should be doing something. I just want to know one question, though. Where did we learn and who taught us that resting means that we're falling behind? Because we all know when we get on that grind, sometimes we can grind it so hard that we didn't even take an off day, and our body let us know, like, hey, you tripping, bro. We need to take a rest. I know I've done that many times, but I learned my lesson that rest is important to the journey also. Because you have to reset, restart, and refocus when you When you lay down and go to sleep, man, you resetting your whole system. Your body is like an electrical circuit. You have to reset those electrical currents. You got to let it rest. You definitely got to let yourself rest because we miss rest. We miss it. Inadequate sleep schedules. If you have an inadequate work schedule where it's like your sleeping hours are backwards, that can hinder you too. That can adjust you where you can't get a sense of just being because of just your stress level, or you're not getting enough rest, or you have to really take care of yourself. You have to take a oath of swearing to yourself like, hey, I'm on night shift, but hey, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna work out. And that's the process that I've started with mastering my mornings. Meditation, workout, coffee. This is a little bit of what I do to master my mornings. But I take ownership of my day though. That means that I'm setting the tone for my day. I'm setting the tone for my mood, and nothing on the outside of me can affect how I move through every day, how I feel, because I've already taken ownership of my day. I predict that, hey, my day is going to be good. I meditated, I worked out, had a good coffee, took a nice shower, all of the good stuff make you feel good, and you can just be at one with yourself and go to work. That's how you have to be. But yes, who taught us that resting means that we're falling behind? I think we confuse like existence with performance. Like you feel like when you're somewhere, you just have to do something. Like that's performance, and that's how we've been conditioned to think. Like a lot of people only look at themselves like I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a worker, I'm a provider, I'm a creator. Those are things that you do. But who are you? None of those titles that you have on you being a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a doctor, a lawyer, none of that stuff is speaking for you. It's eternally your internal soul, your internal conscience. That's who's speaking for you. That's who's, being able to carry that load of that journey that you went on to get that degree. That journey that load you had to carry when you went on to get married, to have children, to buy your first house, to buy your first car, to live the life that you want to live. Those titles didn't carry you. You carried those titles. So it's all about the internal conscience of how you feel about yourself. That's why it's so important to love yourself. If you can't love yourself and you can't take the time to really love yourself, you cannot love somebody else. You cannot experience peace. You have to love yourself. You have to be okay with your lightness. You have to be okay with your darkness. You have to be okay with the things you've done good in your life. You have to be okay with the things that you've done bad in your life. You have to be okay with it. No matter what's being said, no matter what nobody say about you, you got to be okay with it. Because ain't nobody perfect. But you have to be at peace with yourself. Because when God created you, he looked at your lightness and he darkness and he made you together and said, boom, you good. But how many of us is really stopping ourselves from really looking at ourselves the way God look at us? God said we're good. He said we're more than conquerors. We shall do greater things. So hate talk, self-talk to yourself is off limits. You can't do that. We have to walk. We have to speak life, not death. And that's your energy you carry. That's the way that you respond to others. That's the way that you help others. That's the way that you carry yourself. So it's not just speaking. It's the way you think too. It's the way you think also. But yes, we confuse existence with performance. Many people only know themselves through roles of I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a worker, I'm a provider, I'm a creator. And those are things that you do. But who are you? Because none of those things are speaking. Who are you? Who are you without the titles? Who are you without the children? Who are you when you're not a father? Who are you before you became a father, a mother? Who are you before you decided to get married? Before you got a career? Who are you? And that's the $1 million question we should all ask ourselves. Who am I? Is my life going the way it's aligned, the way God wanted to be aligned? Am I aligned with God's plan for my life? Because we can always make decisions and plans to do things, and then when it doesn't go right, we think it's a failure. No, it's a redirection because God didn't tell you to make that move. We can't exist without him. We can't breathe without him. So what will make us think that we can think without him? That's just me going down the wormhole about myself and me facing myself and take accountability for the decisions that I've made in my life and the way I've approached life in a different light now. Like, it's very important that we take accountability for the things that has happened in our life. It's very important that we do that. Because think about it, we put so much time into those hours into getting these titles and accomplishing these goals that where presence is where life actually happens. Can we be present in the moment? When you have time to rest, can you just be present? Can you just sit in your front yard with your socks off, grounded in the grass, looking at the trees blow, looking at the wind push the leaves across the street, or see the little kids running across the street, or see the flowers blooming, or see how the sun's shining down on your face, the smell of summer, seeing the little bees buzzing on the flowers? Can you be in a point of presence in a moment where you can just sit and just be and enjoy that? Because that's the most important thing. If you can't be at peace and sit still and enjoy the simple things in life, then how can we expect to enjoy the more complex things of life? Everything that we've been through in life, everything has been a test and a journey for you to remember who you are, who God made you to be. Everything you've been through, because every time something happens, we get on the right path, we start grinding, it's militant. It's militant after that mistake, after that heartbreak, or that disappointment. But we have to keep that mindset no matter if something's happening or not. In order to just be, we have to learn how to look within and love ourselves and just be at peace with who you are, who God made you to be. No clout chasing, not trying to be like somebody you're not. Who are you? When the cameras go off, when your friends go to sleep, when your kids go to bed, when your husband and your wife go to bed, who are you? When it's just you and God in the room, who are you? We all have to ask our question. We have to ask ourselves that question. That's really the $1 million question. Who are you? An alignment with and look inward will always help you find that answer. Like I said, presence is where life actually happens. Our mind usually live in one or two places, the past or the future. Our mind only lives in one or two places. Normally, it's the past and the future. You be thinking about the things that you've been through. Like, dang, I can't believe I let them play me like that. Or just everything you've been through, and now you're in survival mode now. You're thinking about the past, the things you've been through. So now you got your protection up, and you guarding your heart, you guarding yourself from all your energy. You doing all of that. You can't be with all of that. You can't carry all that and just exist. You can't. You can't carry all that and exist. Because you think about it. We so focused on the past, healing from the past, we so worried about the future, the goals that we want to accomplish. We rarely live in the now. Like just exist, like now. Not thinking about what you got to do, but just sitting there on the couch. If you up under the blanket watching this live, rub your feet together. Just being in that comfortable moment. A lot of people don't even get to experience that type of comfort. There's always someone who has it worse. So every little thing that you do can be appreciated. Just for how hot that shower was. Just how good that bed slept. How good that AC felt in your car. To be able to drive off the lot in a new car. To have Wi-Fi, to have cable, to have subscriptions. So many things we should be thankful for, but we kind of lose sight of it, we lose focus of it. And that's why we can't just be. When we learn to be, we have to learn that, hey, it is what it is. I can't worry about the past. All I can say is thank you, Lord, for the past. I know I ain't worried about nothing in the future because God, let me get through this. So you know what? I can be present in the now and rest in knowing that, hey, I can't fail. I can't fail. We all have to realize that we can't fail. You can't. And a lot of times, like I said, we don't realize the importance of the simple things in life. Being, like I said, being able to sit in the grass and ground. You sitting in the grass ground with your socks off at a beautiful summer day, just looking at the trees. You ain't got nothing on your agenda. You're not thinking about nothing. Your phone in the house. You just sitting there, just meditating, grounded in the grass. I found myself doing that a lot. Meditation is key. We all should take time to meditate, to ground ourselves, ground our thoughts. We all should. And that's a beautiful thing. When you're able to sit in peace, no matter what's going on around you, you're able to maintain your peace. You live in your peace. You lean into it. Because God created the present. Yesterday no longer exists. Tomorrow hasn't arrived. The only place that you've actually experienced God moving is today. Right now in this moment. We've all had moments where we just relaxing and just something come out of nowhere. Hey, you found some money, or hey, oh man, I got something free. You know, just simple things like that, man. Listen, that's God in motion. Everything is a blessing. Depends on how you adjust your lens. Either you're looking at the cup half full or half empty. That's how we really, honestly, that's how we have to look at it. Either the cup is half full or half empty. If it's half full, you're going to look at everything as an opportunity or a blessing or a redirection. You look at the half empty. Why God doing this to me? That's how you're going to look at it. That's how you're going to look at it. Like, that's why it's so important. Like I said, the only time we're supposed to look back at the past is just for reflection. Thank you, Lord. Look how far I made it. That's it. Then we look to the future like, man, Lord, I trust you. Whatever I got going on, whatever you lead me to, I trust you. That's about as much we should speak and just enjoy that moment and live in that moment. Even if you're sitting there eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with your babies, whether you have a moment where you laughing with your siblings or your best friends, like cherish those little moments. Because you only spent one moment once and one day once. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But we think about it though. How often are we praying for tomorrow while overlooking today's blessings? How many times we've done that? We praying about tomorrow. How we praying about tomorrow's problems? We can't even appreciate today's blessings. That's diabolical. And we've all done that before. We've all done that. We've all done it. But we have to take accountability for it. Like, hey, man, listen. I need to stop stressing about this. This is when you have to take time to look within yourself and find you some peace. If you can't sit with yourself, if you can't find a way to love yourself no matter what and sit with yourself in peace and be able to get in alignment and have discernment about everything going on in your life, and you particularly pick what parts of your energy you want to go where, who you want to interact with your energy, or who you don't want to interact with your energy. That's what it's all about. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect your peace, protect your joy, protect what you love. It's so important. Because you think about it. Creation flows from stillness, right? So you're able to just be. You'll be able to come with different ideas. If you want to start a business, you start thinking about that. Hey, if you're a painter, you can start painting, doing that. You come with ideas. Even when it's stillness, I come up with things I want to talk about on my podcast. Just in stillness and meditation. Your God will give you everything you need, really honestly, if you give a good meditation life. If you meditate, man, and you continue to just to stay intertwined with God, get in alignment, man. That's always the best option. Where there's nothing in this world we have to hold on to. It's nothing. Nothing consistent in this world. That's what God was talking about, sinking sand. So we must really have a good prayer life and a good relationship with God. We really need to. It's very important. Because when you sit in your stillness and you think about your life, you think about the things that you want to do, that's where the creativity comes. That's where you think about like people who open their business. I'm pretty sure they've had to take time where they've just went off from everybody. I would allow noise to sit with themselves, to think about some things, to jot some things down in the meditation and stuff. That's how creation starts. That's how people start their good ideas. Everybody who started No Limit, I'm pretty sure Master P was somewhere meditating when he came up with No Limit. I'm pretty sure. You have to have time away when you come up with a business plan and stuff. You have to have some quiet time. Any type of blessing, any type of level up, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, or materialistically. Like, you still have to take time to yourself. You still have to understand and ground and understand what this means, because to whom much is given, much is, you know what I'm saying, expected. It's responsibility that's gonna come with those blessings. So you have to be a good steward of everything in life. If we're praying for peace, we have to have a journey in order to acquire peace. You pray for courage. You're going to have a journey in order that you're going to have to acquire courage. And those lessons we learned in acquiring those things, those are the lessons that are teaching you to have courage. Things that's going to require your patience. And so that's what we have to understand, that everything is a journey. Everything is a challenge. Everything is an expedition. Everything. Whether you want to follow God or you want to sell your soul and be famous, like, both sides of the coin is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Life requires sacrifices. Nothing in life is not going to require sacrifice. Either you're going to sacrifice your ego or you're not. And that's a lot of things that gets in our own way from us just being peaceful, learning to just be. It's because we feel like it always has to be something going on. We have to have excitement. Sometimes that peace, if you can't sit with yourself, it's things that you got to fix within yourself. Past childhood trauma. You have to fix the things that you didn't address. Bad relationships. You know, might have an issue with your kids' moms or something. You never know. But things that you have to address in life, you have to be able to be at peace with those things in your life in order to just be and just exist. We have to. Because life is going to keep on going. You can't get caught up in a minute. You can't. Because life is experience. You're supposed to observe and don't absorb. And we get so messed up by absorbing situations, and everything's just an experience. We tend to do that a lot. And so when you realize that, you really understand that, hey, I'm at peace. Life is life. It's going to get better. But it's all in the decisions that you make and how you protect your energy. It's all about being peaceful. There's so many things that happen when you can able to just sit still and meditate and just exist. Some of the great ideas that people have come up with is when they're just existing, just meditating, they weren't forcing creativity. It came while they were driving. It came while they was just taking a shower, watching the sunrise, drinking coffee, walking. Like I said, sitting quietly. Stillness isn't empty. Stillness is not empty. It's where your inspiration shows up, really, when you in the moment where you can sit still, or like you said, you just have a peaceful ride to work, or you walking in the park. That's why I say you taking a shower. A lot of people meditate and manifest in the shower. That's another way you can manifest your peace. Watching the sunrise, like I said, drinking coffee, going for a morning walk. Those different things that you could be doing and protect your peace and understand, like, hey, I have a crazy idea, but it just might work. And that's all it takes to do something different. They said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you want different, you have to do different. When you know better, you have to do better. Because once you understand, like Dick Gregory said, once you put them glasses on, you can't take them off. You can't unsee what you see. You can't. You can't unsee that. You can't. So understanding that we have to master our life, master our energy, don't let our environments control our energy. That's the main key of honestly learning how to just be, how to just exist. We have to understand that we don't control any traffic in our life. The only thing we control is making sure we tend to stand in our lane on everything. Man, listen. You got to be 10 and 2 in your lane. You got to be. You got to have 10 and 2 in your lane. We don't control no traffic. You can't control what's going to happen in your life. You can't. So why are we worrying about things that we can't control? We don't control traffic. We think we control traffic in our life. We don't. Only thing we can do is control is how we respond to the traffic. Our expressions. Are we gonna stay in our lane? Is it gonna force me to get out of my lane? Is it gonna force me to get out of my character? We have to look at those things. Because once you're trying to understand them, but just being like water, like Bruce Lee said, be like water, just float. Water don't have a problem being water. No matter if it smack a rock, no matter what it is, but it's still water. It's just flowing whatever life brings it. Whatever's going downstream, whatever comes downstream, it's still gonna be water. It's gonna adapt and it's gonna continue to go. And we have to be like that. That's why I said we have to be able to sit with ourselves. We have to take a look at ourselves, take accountability for the things that we allowed ourselves to go through. Take accountability for the situation we allowed ourselves to be in because we didn't love ourselves enough. Because that's what it always is. When you love yourself enough, you'll be too good for certain things. You'll be like, man, I don't even know why I even participated in that. I don't even know why I was in that space at the wrong time anyway. Like, that's what it is. That's how you're supposed to evaluate your life. Either it's two columns. Either it's pushing you to be the very best version of yourself, or it's holding you back. Or it's just a waste of energy and a waste of time. It's very important that we understand that we need to learn how to just exist and enjoy life. Because life is so short. Life is too short nowadays. You don't know when your last days is. Because when you think about it, like I said, water is just water. Water is water. Birds are going to be birds. The trees are going to be the trees. The sun don't apologize for setting. The sun just set. It don't apologize if the trees feel offended because it's too hot. The sun don't apologize for setting on us if we getting sunburned. The sun is just the sun. And we have to be like that with ourselves and be original and be, individualized from everybody. Let's not try to be like everybody else. Let's be like ourselves. Let's be like ourselves. Everything in creation in this world fulfills its purpose. Everything fulfills its purpose. But it's just us humans that we can't be ourselves. Like, we don't want to tap into our purpose. We have to really conquer that. That's my current journey that I'm on now. Tapping into my purpose. Mastering my mornings. Discipline. Like, focused. Like, a lot of good things. Meditation. Staying peaceful, protecting your energy is very important. But yes, we as humans, we only want to spend our life trying to become someone else. We spend our whole life trying to be someone else besides what God told us to be. Because we go through life and we look at it like, dang, I like that about them. I like that about them. I'm going to do that when I get older. Well, what I've come to see on this journey of learning to just be, learning to just exist, is when you get ready to take that journey in the dark night of the soul and you're trying to take accountability and change your life around getting in alignment with God, none of those things that you acquired is going to go with you. Because that's your identity that you picked up and, you kind of cultivated it to be your identity, but that's not God's identity for you. And that's one thing that we tend to do. We all pick up things trying to be like somebody, but what God called us to be. And when you realize that, that's when you really understand that, hey, I've been wasting all this time, all this energy on things that wasn't even worth it. When you realize that, that's when you'll be able to just be, just exist. Don't care about the drama. Don't care about nothing else. Had a great day. We're going to keep it that way. You're going to protect your energy. You're going to mind the business that pays you. Learning to be is really just minding the business that pays you. You put in the work, you constantly examining yourself. You constantly put in the work to change your outlook on life. Get new experiences under your belt. Broaden your horizon on food. Broaden your horizon on culture. Broaden your horizon on just anything that puts you in a good place. Have a good read. I became good. Actually, I love reading books now. I didn't like reading books before. I didn't. But I really gained a love and a passion for reading books. And it's nothing like a good book to really give you a good mindset, a good eye opening look at life and what really matters and not what they're showing us on TV and the programs and stuff like that. It's very important that we stay grounded. Like, we have to stay dangerous. We have to be able to be intelligent. You have to be able to understand things, because things are not what they seem. But yes, nature understands that it's nature. A tree is going to be a tree. The ocean doesn't have to rush. What I said, trees don't compare themselves to the grass. Birds don't panic because another bird is singing louder. The sun don't apologize for setting. Everything in creation simply fulfills its purpose. Only humans spend their time trying to become something else. And this is really deep, because what steals our ability just to be? What really takes our ability to just be? What? What takes our ability to just be? Comparison, fear, regret, shame, validation, social media, constant stimulation, cell phones, noise. We always consuming, never reflecting. We so focused on everything else going on. We focused on the game. We focused on what's going on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, what's going on Facebook, what's going on in Birmingham, what's all somebody got. It's always something going on. If we get so caught up in the hype and focus on that so much, how can we improve ourselves? If we take all of that energy and we focus it in on improving ourselves, learning something, learning a new task, learning a new ideology, learning a new mindset, like expand your horizon, learn about a new culture, something you might like in another culture. You might want to travel to China, learn something about meditation as in health-wise. You might want to go to Africa to learn how to dance. Even if it's a hobby for fun or just something for culture, really everything is learning. But if you want to do that, that's fine. But if it's not adding to your purpose and pushing you to be the very best version of yourself, it's a distraction. Right, Meech? A distraction. Yes, distractions. That's all it is. We have to understand that. We all have to take accountability. Even myself, I have to take accountability for it too. Sometimes you tend to scroll too long. Man, listen. Put your energy into something that's going to be beneficial. Working on you a podcast, a clothing line, an AI photo shoot. Like, things like that. There's so many things that you can do to really hone your skills, and we should do that. Because all this is nothing but the Truman Show, y'all. I'm being real. Nothing on this earth, we have nothing but our faith to hold on to. Because nothing in this world is worth holding on to. Everything is changing. Everything. There's nothing peaceful going on right now in this world. Nothing. So it's very important that you seek ye the kingdom of God. Yahweh. Yahshua. Seek ye the kingdom of God. Because that's the only thing we have is our faith to make it in this world. That's the only thing we have. But we get so caught, like I said, what's really steals our ability to just learn how to just exist, to just be in peace. Like I said, we always comparing ourselves. We always fear of failing. We can't fail. If something doesn't work, that means it's redirection, because God didn't tell you to do that anyway. You moved outside the will of God. Regret, we all make mistakes. God said he forgives us from the west to the east. You just ain't forgave yourself. Yes, take accountability for it. Yes, I did that. But forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. You are who you said you are. You are him. You are her. It's got to be in you. But everybody mess up. Nobody's perfect. Life is about making mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, then you're not living. You're not. Don't be shamed for bad decisions. We all have made bad decisions. We all have done things that we've never done, should have done before. Things that we never should have done before. We all have done things that we're not proud of. Ain't the point of being ashamed. Can't nobody judge you. They probably did worse. And then validation. You don't need nobody to validate you. You already validated when God made you. Everything is in you what you need right now. Everything that you need to be who you need to be is already in you. God put it in you. You're not becoming nobody. You just remember who God made you to be. Because we so overstimulated with phones and everything going on in the world, man. We don't have time to sit down and even think to ourselves. We so busy. We have to make sure that we take time and ground. Like I said, walk out in the front yard, walk out in the backyard. Put your feet in the grass. Sit there and just stare at the sun and just take a deep breath. Do a breathing exercise. That's meditation right there. You doing that is meditation in itself. That moment right there, that'll set the tone for the rest of your morning. Oh, that'll set the tone for the rest of your morning. You'll be floating like a leaf in the wind in this mug. I ain't lying. You'll be floating like a leaf in the wind. I promise you, man, listen, that grounding and that meditation, it really helps. Like I said, that's what I choose to do when I master my mornings, because I'm taking ownership of my day, my mood, my energy, my environment. I'm not letting anything dictate how my day is going to be. I'm going to tell the world how my day is going to be. The world is not going to tell me how my day is going to be. And that's taking ownership of your life. That's taking ownership of your peace. And when you're able to do that, that's when you learn how to just be. Just exist. You're not worried about the past. You're not worried about the future. You just enjoying yourself sitting in this grass, wondering, I hope I ain't sitting no ants. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's living in the moment. That's living in the moment for real. But honestly, this is the $1 million question. What would happen? How further in life would we be if we spent as much time listening to ourselves and the things that we want to do and talking to God and manifesting besides scrolling? If we took all the time we've ever scrolled on social media in the history of social media, whoever alive to be with social media, if you took all that time that we scrolled and we could put that time into ourselves, into something that we want to accomplish, I wonder how farther we would be in life. I've been thinking about that for a while. Like, man, we wasted so much time and it ain't nothing but a game. Ain't nothing real. Ain't nothing real. Ain't nothing real. Everybody top getting played on in this mug. Ooh, boy. I'm sorry, y'all. I just laugh at everything, even if it ain't funny. But our top is getting played on. This ain't nothing but the Truman Show. But yes, we don't have time. We really calculate all the time that we spent scrolling and pouring into ourselves. I wonder how much we could have accomplished, how much time, how many things we would have been, man. Imagine if we would have had a business and put that time scrolling into that business, how far our business would be, how much money we would have made, or how stronger would you be spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, like how many things you would have healed from by now. And it's not just materialistic, because I know that's normally what the culture goes to, straight materialism, but no, it's all about the infrastructure, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. How much more better we be solidarity as in spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, like grounded in God, understanding that, hey, we got confidence in ourselves, we have faith, because we spent time really putting forward into ourselves instead of scrolling and seeing what everybody else got going on. I just think about stuff like that. That's just me though. But honestly, learning to practice being is just doing simple habits. Like I said, just take 5 minutes of silence. When you wake up in the morning, just take 5 minutes of silence to meditate when you wake up. You drink your coffee without your phone. Just sit there. If you're looking out, if you got a front porch, you can see the sunset. Just sit out there without your phone and just sit and just stare at God's creation and drink your coffee. That right there. You watching the sunset. Even when you watching the rain, you just want to go out there with a cup of coffee and sit out there on the front porch when it's raining and here listen to the rain. Breath work, breathing exercises. You can do that. Meditation, prayer, listening. You can listen to a motivational podcast or high vibrational music. I particularly love the high vibrational music, high frequency. And honestly, not asking God for anything. Just sitting with him and saying thank you. Just saying thank you. Sitting with God and be like, Lord, I made it to Friday. Thank you. Just that right there. Man, I promise you, man, listen. Y'all playing. Man, listen, I talk to God like he a homie. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's how you gotta be. Even something simple like that. That means a lot. That goes a long way besides asking for anything. Like just taking the time for a moment just to do that. You really understand and you really learn that, hey, at least I got 5 minutes I could just take a breath. Just relax. At ease, my queens. At ease, my queens. At ease. At ease. At ease. Fellas, chill out. All the fellas, all the kings, chill out. Just in this moment. Just appreciate the smallest things. How soft that blanket feel. How good that pillow good feel. How good that shower was. How them furry socks. How your feet feel when you rub it together like you finna start a fire. How that feel. Even those little moments like that. Those very, very simple, intricate moments. Those are very, very important moments. They are. It's very important that you understand that you appreciate anything from taking a shower to brushing your teeth to cutting your toenails to painting your toenails. It's very important. It's the simplicity of life that matters the most, that makes the most impact. It makes the most impact. Because a lot of people can't get a bath. A lot of people can't use the bathroom. A lot of people can't walk. Some people don't have toenails to cut. Just being honest. So appreciate everything. Be grateful. Be transparent. Be loving. Be caring. Speak life into the world. The seeds that you sow, you shall reap. If you sowing good seeds in the world, you pouring into others, and you putting good energy out, you're going to get that back. If you out here scamming and, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. That karma going to be karma. That's why it's best important that we put our best foot forward. Because the things that we don't accomplish and the things that we don't tackle in our life is going to fall on our kids. It's called generational curses. And even some of us right now, as our age, we're dealing with generational curses. The things that we deal with, some things that we struggle with. It's not because of something we did. It's because something that our parents or our grandparents before us didn't deal with properly the way they were supposed to. It just fell on us to take care of it. And we have to take care of it so it doesn't affect our kids. So it's really deep. It's time out for shallow stuff. It's time for us to learn how to just be. How to focus, how to meditate. Your kids deserve a healed parent too. Your kids deserve a healed parent. So it's very important. Fellas, you know what it is. Fellas, you know what time it is. Our sons deserve to see a healed father. A father that can communicate. A father that can love properly. A father that can speak his mind. A father that can stand on business. But a father that also is understanding, is open-minded. Even if you have a daughter, your daughter need a man that love her correctly. Fellas, your daughters deserve a healed father to see what a healed man is. So we won't put our kids through going through meeting wrong people, getting drugged down the street. Your sons and daughters need to see a healed man. Yes, it's still Men's Mental Health Month. It ain't the end of June yet. Men's Mental Health Month, fellas. We have to learn how to just be. Isolation is the only way a man can be. He has to seclude himself from outside noise and understand and be able to sit with himself and understand what he needs to improve about himself. Self-evaluation, self-check. We have to learn to just be. Our sons and our daughters deserve to have a good father, a healed father, a healthy father, a happy father. No toxicity. Our kids deserve that because they didn't ask to be here. No matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on, your kids deserve to see you healed and happy. They feed off your energy. Your kids feel your energy. You ain't got to say nothing. They already know. They're a part of you. So take time to heal. Take time to read a book a night. If you read a chapter a night, something that's going to keep your mind grounded. Like I said, Saturday morning, you up early in the coffee? Man, listen, go stand in the grass with your socks off and drink your coffee. That's killing 3 birds with 1 stone. You grounding, you meditate, and you're drinking coffee. No phone. Do that. It's important. It's important for us to understand our balance. In order for us to be peaceful, we have to understand, we have to take accountability for ourselves and our actions. In order for us to love somebody else, we have to love ourselves. In order for us to be able to be peaceful and be peaceful with someone, we have to have peace ourselves first. You have to love and have peace for yourself first before you try to add somebody else to your addition. You got to be able to sit with yourself. You got to be able to love yourself. You got to be able to get up and take yourself on a date without having to worry about anything. You have to be able to be that comfortable with yourself first before you decide to try to love somebody. It's very important. But I was thinking about this, went down a wormhole about it, man. I had so many questions I wanted to ask. But I was thinking about this, y'all. Maybe the greatest luxury isn't money. I'm going to say that again. Maybe the greatest luxury isn't money. Maybe it isn't vacations. Maybe it isn't even success. Maybe it's reaching a place where your soul no longer feels the need to constantly prove itself. I'm going to say that again for y'all in the back who didn't get that. Maybe the greatest luxury in life isn't money. It isn't vacations. It isn't success. It isn't any type of title, any type of accomplishment. Maybe it's reaching a place where your soul no longer feels the need to constantly prove itself. That means you're okay with life. You don't care what nobody says if they try to remind you of your past. You okay with life. You good. You okay. You at peace. You don't care. When you're at a point in life where you don't have to prove yourself, you can just be yourself. You can be yourself. If you want to be goofy, be goofy. That's you, that's you. You can be yourself without worrying about anybody, what they have to say about you. You have to be just free. Like, no longer. No more proving yourself. That's what it's all about. I think to me, I feel like that's the greatest success. That's wealth. That's riches. That's heaven on earth. That's success. To me, that's what it is. Reaching a place where your soul no longer needs to feel constantly needed to prove itself. That's the best position to be in life. That's the best success, the best riches, the best wealth. Where you no longer feel the need to have to prove yourself in no way, form, or fashion, nobody on the face of this earth. That's some peace right there, y'all. I ain't gonna even hold you. Hey, that's some peace right there. Hey, listen, when you get to that place like that, man, listen. All right. You're at peace with everything in your life. Good, bad, ugly. No matter what happens. You're at peace. That's what riches and wealth is. Reaching a place where your soul no longer feels the need to constantly prove itself. That's the real peace. That's the real riches and wealth right there. It's not about the money. It's not about the vacations. It's not about the success. Because if your soul ain't in the right place, you can't enjoy none of that nowhere. You're going to be miserable. You ain't going to never be happy. So that shows you the importance of making sure your soul is in the right spot. Make sure that you're in the right space. Where you can just be at peace with life and you don't have nothing to prove to nobody. Man, listen. That's the best piece ever right there. Because flowers don't compete. Mountains don't compare. Water don't force itself. The sun don't rush. But yet somehow they fulfill their purpose. Nothing in God's creation has a hard time reaching their purpose but us as human beings. We're the only ones. The water gonna be water. The mountain gonna mountain. The flower gonna flower. But we's trying to be like everybody else but who God made us to be. And that's our first mistake. Seek ye the kingdom of God, look within. Take accountability for everything in your life. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, my name is Julius and everything that happened in my life was my fault. Man, listen, it takes accountability to be able to say that. Because if you love yourself enough, you would never been in those situations in the first place. When you understand the value of you, the value of who you are, the value of your existence, that's when you understand what God wants you to know. Your purpose in life is your purpose, nobody else's. Your journey in life is your journey, it's nobody else's. But we have to understand that Being able to sit with ourselves, whatever you want to go in life, you have to be somewhere solidarity spiritually. You have to have some type of solidarity spiritually, because it no matter how much success you get, if you're not solid spiritually, you'll never be able to help. You'll never be able to handle it. You won't, because you pray for patience, you pray for peace, you pray for joy, you pray for courage, you pray for success. But all of those intricate things that's hard to do, what deals with our character and our moral compass, is going to be the foundation in order for us to be able to approve and appreciate those things, be able to handle and be a good steward of a good job, of a nice house, of a nice car. Like, you have to be a good steward of everything that God blesses you with, and your character has to be on point, especially when it comes to patience, when it comes to courage, when it comes to empathy, when it comes to gratefulness, when it comes to being transparent, when it comes to elevating. You have to be able to understand that, hey, listen, I have to be self-aware of myself. I have to self-evaluate myself. I have to be my hardest critic. There's no way nobody should know you more than you. You should be able to self-evaluate yourself and be like, yeah, I could have said that better. But no, I could have handled that better. But we don't realize that, but it's okay. Because like I said, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody started from somewhere. Nobody just had it figured out. And nobody has it figured out yet. We'll never have it figured out. But that's why you wake up every day and master your mornings, and you put your best foot forward every day. You take time to set the tone for your morning with, like I said, your coffee, your meditation, your workout, whatever you do in the morning to get yourself aligned with God and ready to attack the day flawlessly and fiercely. You master your mornings and you take ownership and say, hey, this is my move for today. I'm not going to let nothing on the outside of me affect this move, because I accomplished what I needed to accomplish to attain this feeling, to attain this move. Like in Alice in Wonderland, she said she does 6 difficult things before breakfast. Getting a coffee, go for a walk, meditate, jot down some ideas you want to do to your business, something you want to start, or something you want to do around your house, anything. Take a book, take a good read. Read a chapter a night. It's always good to continuously learn something every day. We're supposed to learn something every day. We're supposed to be continuing to grow. That's the only way. But what I was going to say was, the older I get, the more I realize that life isn't asking us to become someone else. It's asking us to remember who we've always been up under all the noise. Before the social constructs, before the religious constructs, before the societal constructs, before the I stay on this side of the hood, I stay on that side of the hood, before the who your parents told you, hey, this is what success is, this is what life is all about. What God put in you, what God was telling you who you were. That's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's all about making the correct decisions, not to become something new. It's to remember who God made you to be all along, because everything is in you, is already in you. He made us in their image. So that means we can't fail. We have a living soul. That means we can't die. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. Y'all don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to have that conversation now. They ain't ready for that conversation. But yeah, we can't exist without God. We can't breathe without God. What makes us think we can think without God? A lot of things that we do, we bring it on ourselves because we move without Him telling us to. We move without meditating. We move without our discernment. It's so important that we have discernment, be able to read a situation. But it's all about, like I said, reaching a place where your soul no longer feels the need to fight for approval. Man, that's the real riches and wealth. When you feel no need to longer prove yourself to anybody, man, that's the real riches and wealth. And remember who you are. Remember who God made you to be. But you have to come into agreement with what God said about you. And only you can find that answer. And I had a few questions I wanted to read with y'all. Just a few of them that I put in one list by these questions I had. And if y'all hear them, y'all want to write them down, that's cool. And it's questions that I think about too. When do you feel most present? What time of the day do you feel more present in the moment? You can just sit and enjoy that cup of coffee. You can just enjoy that. Is it in the morning, noon, or night? Only you can answer that. Only you can answer that. What distracts you from yourself? What thing distracts you from yourself? Have you ever been physically somewhere and mentally somewhere else? I know I've experienced this a lot too. Why are we uncomfortable in silence? These are some other good questions that you can think about. Do you know who you are without your accomplishments? That's a good one right there. Do we know who we are without our accomplishments? Without our titles? Without the persona that we built up? Do we know who we are without that? What does peace actually feel like? What does it feel like? These are questions that we should ask ourselves. Are you living or are you just staying busy? That's a good one right there, y'all. Are you living or are you just staying busy? But that's all I got for tonight, y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Episode 61, Jews Word Podcast. I appreciate all the love and the support. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. You know what I'm saying? This is my purpose. This is my calling for my life. This is what I know God has me doing. So I enjoy doing it. I enjoy bringing you guys a good word from the deep thoughts that I had, the deep conversations I have. And it's a blessing. And I'm going to continue to serve and be a blessing to you guys. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But hey, it's a blessing either way it go. It's a whole vibe over here. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, if you're not familiar with my content, go double back, tap on all social media platforms and see where my podcast has grown and where it is now. It's all about life, family, and love. That's what it's all about. I appreciate all the love, guys. Y'all have a blessed evening. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. Let's tackle Monday morning, all right? Peace. All right, Facebook.